Welcome to Building Strength Every Day. So, today's video is about when people are labeled crazy, maybe what we should do instead of judging them is listening to them. It's not a relatively new concept. Now, to start off the video, I wanted to discuss the word crazy and what it actually meant. I was thinking about looking at the etymology of the word crazy, meaning the origin of the word, and I went on in a rabbit hole I did not expect. But essentially, what was being said is that once you're labeled crazy by anyone, think about it, even in a conversation, what a person is saying is that they're no longer paying attention to you and the words that you're using are invalidated. So what you have to say is no longer important and basically you're silenced. What that makes me think about Jordan Neely and what happened to him on the train. What could have happened, because we really don't know all of the facts, he walked into that train, we saw a madman, we saw a crazy person, and it became a judgment where what he said didn't mean anything. It is alleged that he asked for food. So the question wasn't about if he needed food and how you could help. The question was, this is a madman, and how do we protect ourselves? And please, if you want to know more about how I feel about this entire situation, which still has me reeling, you could look at my Jordan Neely's rant. Now, why is it important to listen? It is important to listen so you could assess a situation better. You could understand what is happening and how you could begin to help those around you. Another thing that I discovered as I was researching the word crazy, and again, this is just a touch of what I want to talk about pertaining to next video, is how gendered it is. How the word crazy is usually applied to women. When you think about synonymous words such as lunatic, lunacy, which applies to the lunar cycle, which also applies to a woman's cycle and her period. And I found this very fascinating because I had a conversation with a friend of mine. She was very upset. And I asked her, what's the matter? She looked at me and she said, I'm on my period, so I'm really overreacting. I was like, what are you overreacting about? And she would not explain her situation. She would invalidate her own self by saying that she was on her period. And come to find out, there was really something foundational. She had a fight with her boyfriend. He said some things to her that triggered her emotions because it was reminded her of her past relationship. When you look at things such as your period, such as your postpartum, people are categorizing you into that box of crazy, that you're off the charts, that you're tripping. So what you're saying doesn't have value. But usually if you take the time to internalize and listen to yourself, listen to another person, you'll understand that there's some foundational truth. Sometimes if someone has this unfiltered reaction, it's because there is a genuine fear and there is a genuine concern. And I've realized that more and more with people who are just plagued with a lot on their plate. The other thing is, sometimes you're on your journey, you're on your path, and people will just label you crazy. And here's something that really resonated with me from Dr. Maya Angelou, who had an interview with Oprah Winfrey. And she said, there should be a part of you that is held inviolate, that is pristine, that is clean, that if someone were to label you or come at you, you could say, no, stop. I have the video link that I've put below. I think essentially what she was saying is that it's important to create boundaries. And that doesn't mean you have a verbal boundary. You have to tell somebody stop, or basically you have to physically defend yourself. That boundary could just be within yourself, where if someone says something to you, you could shut them out. You don't have to have a conversation about it. I've realized when people say things that are inappropriate, I stay quiet, I listen, and I smile. And I know that they don't get to affect me. They don't get to touch that part of me that I know I'm not going to have a conversation about. So these are the things that you can do to protect yourself. As you move forward for the week, I definitely want to remind you that the power lies within you. I want to ensure that you take some of these skills and you utilize it, because I think it's our role in this life to, really help people out, help each other out, and we all need it. We need it. I think a lot of that is lacking, and this is Bob Marley song that's in my head. He said, "Don't let them change you. Don't let them rearrange you." He said, "Yeah," but I'm saying you, and he says, "Only the fittest of the fittest will survive. Stay alive." So I wish you all the best for the week, and I hope that this video was helpful to you.